Good morning readers. I, Harish Budhu, warmly welcome you to my channel. Learn as much as possible from my handwritten articles. Open letter to the Prime Minister, from somebody who was instrumental in the creation of the militant socialist movement in 1983, but was eliminated by Gestapo, Machiavellian and Macbeth means. Mr. Prime Minister. 1. We are taking the liberty of writing this open letter to you, which, of course, are against the norms and political protocol. There are many simple but compelling reasons for this exception. As a layman and a bit of a maverick, history tells us that I had written many such public letters to all the past prime ministers. 2. Many had utilized them for good purposes. A few had just thrust them aside, in their darkest drawers. Whereas your father had often poked fun at them. But later, rushed to Belterre, to apologize, express deep regret and seek shelter and help. We can go on. We stop here. You, too, can consider the serious points I will raise, or just ignore or throw them away. Or still, send your police to arrest me. After all, I was used to your father's police prisons. Ask him how I slept well there. 3. Whatever happens, know for certain that the author of this letter, A, was greatly instrumental in the creation of the then April 1983 militant socialist movement. Your father had negotiated with Paul Berenger and the private sector to pack up and quit for good and all. Late Jane Cuttery and Shira Normia Reddy were waiting in the Prime Minister's corridor for the final touches of the huge financial pulling out and giving up deal. Jane confirmed it all later when he met twice at Belterre. Long story short, the trigger or releasing mechanism came when I had accepted to destroy my well-structured party Socialist Mauritian Party plus give up my deputy prime minister post plus put my La Socialist newspaper at his complete disposal, etc. The militant socialist movement saw the light of day some 5 days later at Vacoas. I cemented the militant socialist movement, Labour Party, Le Parti Mauritian Social Democrate Alliance at Belterre. I led the electoral campaign. We won handsomely. The Sun Trust did not then exist. For all the above reasons, Paul Berenger and the then sugar barons and their 1960s racist journalists have never forgiven or forgotten. I don't care. And the rest is but history. We stop here. B was thrown out of the government and the Mauritian socialist movement, on politically motivated criminal charges, in January 1986. Was hounded and arrested by the Juggernaut police some 8 times. You were the lawyer and of some Mauritian socialist movement agents. I won many cases at the lower and higher courts. It was all carefully orchestrated. Machiavellian and Nazi Gestapo methods were dwarfed by those of your father. I was his first victim. Then came in quick and close succession his other political scapegoats, praise and sacrificial lambs, Madundaloo, Anil Bachu, Paul Berenger, Navin Ramjulam, colorable device ruling of the Supreme Court, Gaetan Duval, he escaped the noose of the hanging rope, Ashok Jugnath, your father's own brother, and so many others from the Mauritian socialist movement camp. Human sacrifices on the altar of politics. It all had little to do with national politics. What counted was, and still is, family politics and the protection of the huge and undreamt Sun Trust empire, both inside and outside Mauritius. And to safeguard and fructify that illegal treasure trove, your father had utilized Gestapo methods, Machiavellian machinations, Macbeth plots and whatnot, to eliminate one by one anybody who could or would have posed a challenge to your leadership or post. En passant, I can't understand how the Mauritian socialist movement members are all agreeing to the notion of only one family controlling the funds and assets of the party. Who can explain it? All told, you have become Prime Minister, leader of the Mauritian socialist movement and proprietor of Sun Trust by unfair, crooked, corrupt and deceptive means of your father. And such dishonest, treacherous and Macbeth methods never bring peace, comfort and happiness in the long run. History is replete with stories of plotters, conspirators and other Machiavellians, dying in regret, bitterness, remorse, repentance and pang of conscience. The law of karma says that you will never be at peace with yourself. True, I don't wish such a cruel fate to anybody. C. has helped both your father and you in 1983, 1987, 2000, 2014 and 2019. We drowned our tears, we sank our differences, we overpowered our grief and revenge, rose above the melee, and looked at the horizon and the oceans, for the best interests of the country. We chose the lesser of two evils, and helped both your father and you. Free of cost. And that even if after each and every election, belt hair was wiped off the face of the earth. No problem. The country mattered most. All said, we stop here. We will continue tomorrow. 4. 1 pound of prevention is worth than a ton of cure. And hereunder are but a few preventive, protective or counteractive measures, both immediate and short-term, and without any order of priority or chronology. A. Sun Trust had been created in the name of Mauritian socialist movement. Destroyed that family trust, and allow all the present Mauritian socialist movement members to manage its funds and assets. It belongs more to them than to you. B. All your appointments have been scandalous, smacking of stupidity, absurdity, insanity and irresponsibility. Remove them all. Think of people of proven integrity and ability. The country is not Sun Trust. C. You are a human being like us all. You are not an avatar, a godsend, a manna from heaven, or still a manifestation of God in human form. Stop that hero worship. It is all very cheap. Till now, no prime minister has stooped that low. Mauritians are not a bunch of Kuyans or a band of fools. D. Immediately destroy that kitchen cabinet gang. It is operating from outside the government house. It is a state within a state. It has become more a danger to you than to the country and our democracy. It is the most reviled and hated one. You are contaminated by it. It is war, kill or be killed. Keep reading, keep learning. Like and subscribe for more thrilling articles. Thank you for watching.